Oklahoma State, Dan Rubenstein. My
Yes.
sweet, sweet pokes. Oklahoma State's the one, Dan. They're the one that's going to get me this year. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
They're the one that's going to get me. They're going to break my heart.
Okay. Next preview. Next team.
I think Oklahoma State's going to be pretty good this year.
Okay.
Let me say this, okay? Can I have the floor here just for a moment?
It's all
to kinda get
yours,
this off?
Ty. The spotlight is
I got a lot
yours.
to get off my chest here with this.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this little diatribe here for weeks, if not months. Listeners of this show know that I've had a love-hate thing with Oklahoma State over the last couple of years. We have fielded emails about this, some people saying I'm being too harsh, others saying that I'm not being harsh enough. I think that's actually been a pretty accurate representation of where the Oklahoma State fan base has been. I thought, like most people, that with Oklahoma and Texas leaving the Big 12, that there was an enormous opportunity for the Pokes to step in and fill that void. Obviously, that has not happened, at least not as of yet. Texas Tech has sort of been that team. There have been a couple other teams that have sort of bubbled up, but Tech and BYU, I think, have claimed that mantle, at least for the moment. Last year, Oklahoma State beat Arkansas Pine Bluff in week 1 and then never won again.
Okay.
And so, in effect, that was the end of the Gundy era. It was, I think, a almost symbolic way to prove the point that Oklahoma State was falling short of the possibility of becoming that new tent pole within the Big 12. It was an utter cluster F. This year, I love Oklahoma State with my whole heart.
Okay.
Let me do the thing here. I'm doing the thing. Is this a Taylor Swift thing or is this just a...
I think just a life thing. I don't think she invented it.
I'm doing the hand
forming
the hand
a
heart
heart
emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this team. I'm all the way in. The new coach is Eric Morris. He comes up from North Texas. He was very successful there. Eric Morris has an unbelievable track record for finding and or developing quarterbacks, in particular quarterbacks that go under-recruited. He developed Cam Ward at Incarnate Word, which is really tough to say.
Yep.
He found Baker Mayfield as a walk-on. He got him initially to Texas Tech. He was the offensive coordinator for a moment for Pat Mahomes at Texas Tech. He played a role in getting John Mateer to go to Wazoo.
Yeah.
Now he has essentially done the same thing with Drew Mestemaker, who we're going to talk about in a second. Do you understand? Can you possibly put a number? Can you quantify how important it is to have a coach like that with an eye for under-recruited talent like that in the year of our Lord in 2026, especially at the quarterback position?
Yeah, especially when you're taking over a program that hasn't won a conference game since 2023.
Do you know how important it is to be good at identifying talent at that one key position?
I do.
So now this is the guy taking over at Oklahoma State. The entire roster's new, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, he managed to bring over Drew Mestemaker from North Texas' quarterback. He managed to bring up with him Caleb Hawkins, star running back. And he managed to bring up the top target, Wyatt Young. This is like rocket fuel for this offense. I suppose there will be a question out there. It isn't so much from me, but I think it's fair to ask, okay, is it going to translate to the Big 12? Is it, the speed of the game, all this, all that? I am completely confident that this is going to work out just fine and that Oklahoma State's going to have a really good offense this year. Drew Mestemaker is the real deal. You watch one or two series with this guy, it's fairly apparent right away that he could be a high-level quarterback. And I think that trio, in and of itself, gives most decent coaches a chance at building an offense. So I am all in. I am all in. Eric Morris knows offense. He knows it well. I think for sure he will find a way to put a product out there that is far and away superior to what we saw each of the last two seasons.
Well, it kind of has to be. They went 0-18.
It has to be.
Yeah.
But provided the line is not a total disaster, and provided this team does not have any kind of run of injuries, I think this offense is going to cook, and I think they're going to be fun as hell to watch. I'm perhaps biased here, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm just so intrigued by what this could be. And I'm so intrigued by the potential of Oklahoma State now under this guy, at least on offense, that
that's reasonable.
I'm excited. I'm just genuinely excited.
Look, they don't have a run of crazy defenses that they'll face. There are some good defenses that they'll face. The defense is a question, and what they're trying to do is essentially a High Plains version of what Kurt Signetti did.
Yeah,
right? And bringing over proven talent at a winning place.
I cannot confidently say they're going to be better on defense. I think they will be.
I think just because they're bringing in so many new faces and a new coordinator, and that there's the vibes are fresh, they will be.
I think they should be. I don't think there's a ton of depth on that side of the ball, but no. I think defensive line will probably be better than people think. I know there's been some optimism here in the run-up to the season. Provided they don't get hollowed out with injuries, I think it'll be sufficient. I have a longer-term question about Eric Morris building defense, building some sort of
Skylar Cassidy had a really good defense a couple years ago at Sam Houston. I think they were like a top 15 national defense. Last year's North Texas defense was not good. It was a below-average defense that didn't fully hold them back from having a great year.
It was certainly not good a year ago. I know Skylar Cassidy's track record, and I think that's another reason for optimism. That is one side of the football, though, that I'm curious about whether they can scale up the model. I'm confident Eric Morris can do it on offense, but in terms of defense, getting the right guys in place, playing against much tougher competition in the Big 12, can they scale that defensive model up and do it repeatedly? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think the top level of what Oklahoma State could be, especially on offense, is fascinating because I think it's not crazy to say they have the best quarterback in the conference. Now, look, he played at North Texas, Drew Mestemaker, but look at the teams who were willing to pay a crazy amount of money to bring him, like Oregon, Indiana, Texas Tech. We're all entertaining the idea of bringing in Drew Mestemaker.
Watch 2 or 3 series with Drew Mestemaker.
Right.
Just watch how he throws the ball.
Yeah, it's in the American, but yes.
Just watch. I don't care where he was.
There was no shortage of interest from huge places.
Watch him throw the football.
Yeah.
It comes out differently. You could tell right away. If you watch enough of this, he is built different.
Agree.
He is legitimately positioned to be one of the better quarterbacks in the game. So if you're an Oklahoma State fan, that's like music to your ears.
Right.
Given where you've been.
So the question to me is, it's not the high-end talent on this offense. You mentioned the offensive line. It's who are the second and third receivers that attract enough attention away. You know, obviously teams are going to have to respect Oklahoma State as a complete offense because of was Caleb Hawkins in the backfield, who another player could have gone wherever he wanted in terms of like who needs a running back and who has a budget, because that's a high-end name and given his eligibility left. So the question to me is just like, what do the full rooms look like? This is football. People get hurt. What teams are going to shade one direction or the other with this team? If the offensive line doesn't work out, then Drew Mestemaker is going to be running for his life, and it's not going to matter as much. And look, he's great off platform. He's a strong quarterback, but if you're able to get to the totality of this offensive roster, it's not going to matter that Drew Mestemaker is awesome, because he's going to have fewer awesome moments to make something out of. And I like this Oklahoma State team. I like them. It's year one. There's a reason they are where they are. I like the idea of bringing in all sorts of new names to reset everything. I'd be thrilled as an Oklahoma State fan with a bowl game.
With a bowl? Oh, dude, I got them 8-4, 9-3.
I'm not that far.
Come on. Wade into this pool with me.
Look, the vibes are going to be better. I think they're a 7-5 team.
You're killing me.
I do. I think he's really good. Look, you can win a lot of games. This is what their schedule is. This is what Oklahoma State has.
Dan Wet Blanket Rubenstein.
I'm not being a wet blanket. They were 0-18, and now I'm saying they're going to win the games.
This is fair.
Okay.
This is fair.
Oregon beat them by 70 points or something last year. They come to Stillwater. That will be a more competitive game. Oregon should beat Oklahoma State. Same page?
Yes.
There's one loss.
Yes.
They have Houston on the road. And that's a week after Oklahoma State has what should be a good UCF defense. I think we agree on that.
We'll get to that.
It's an Alex Grinch defense, so there's an asterisk there. But yes,
there is. That was going to be my point. But okay.
UCF should be a competitive team this year with the combination of what they have on defense and Alonzo Barnett, depending on his health. We'll
Correct.
get there. Colorado seems to be a winnable game. Iowa State seems to be a winnable game. Kansas State on the road could be a 51-48 type affair.
Yep.
We agree. Somebody's going to win that game with a score on that level. Texas Tech is going to be very tough. ASU on the road, I think, is tough. Kansas to finish out the season could be another 51-48 situation. I just think there's so much new here that I'm not trying to be a wet blanket here. I think they're going to be fun. I think they're going to be entertaining. And I think 2027 is the year.
I think they start 4-1. I think they pull an upset against either Houston, Kansas State, or Texas Tech. And I've got them at 8-4 or 9-3. Over under is 5.5. I'm aggressively on that over.
Okay. You look at people's schedules and everybody's penciling in wins against teams like West Virginia and Colorado. Like they're going to win some games.
I know. You're not
West
wrong
Virginia's
about
offense. You like Cam Cook, right?
that. I do.
He gets to run into a brand new defense in Oklahoma State. So, and that's on the road in Morgantown. Should also mention, I think we got a Rich Rod reunion this year, right? Arizona, West Virginia, and Morgantown.
Yep.
There's that. All right. I appreciate your enthusiasm. There's always going to be a team or two that makes a huge leap. And if your starting point is the best quarterback in the conference, it's pretty good.